Was that a thumbs up? You're ready? Okay, beautiful. Good morning, everyone. Happy day. Happy Monday. Welcome to our Bliss Ohana Mastermind. It's a wonderful day, the 15th of the month, a special day. It's payday, or one of our many paydays. And we're going to have a great mastermind to kick off our week. We have our beautiful 3-star crown, Sarah Rhinelander, who is here leading us. And we're going to have a powerful call on the topic of events. So excited to be here to dive into this conversation. Sarah, thank you so much just for all of your motivation and encouragement and how you have supported me and held me in my capability to get to events, and so many events that have completely changed my life. And I'm just really excited for this conversation that we're going to dive into. So yeah, take it away, and thank you so much.
Aw, thanks, Ashley. Good morning, everybody. Aloha and welcome to our Monday Mastermind. I haven't led a Monday Mastermind in a little while. It's been kind of crazy over here, but I am super excited to be with all of you. And I want to, before we begin our kind of the main portion of our call, I wanted to bring a couple things in. I'm sure that many of you, if not all of you, heard that on Saturday morning here in Hawaii, almost everybody in the state, most people, except for a certain few people, for some reason it didn't happen for them, but almost everybody in the state received an alert. And so out here in Hawaii, we have this thing where when there's flash flood warnings or when there's whatever, like our phones start buzzing, it's like, warning, flash flood or whatever, and I've heard that in other places they'll do an amber alert or something. So we have these cell phones, and they alert us to situations of high danger and intensity. And so on Saturday morning at 8:07, there was an alert that came to everybody's phone that said, "Warning, inbound missile. Seek shelter. This is not a drill." Right. So this is my personal experience with this is kind of intense. I was at a gymnastics meet with my daughter, and all the girls were warming up on the floor, and all the parents in the bleachers started getting these buzzing, and we ended up all like in a locker room inside the building, like all these little girls crying and their moms, crying, and really that was the first time in my entire life. And I've been really doing a lot of kind of soul searching on this and reflection on this, but that was the first time in my entire life that I actually had a feeling like I got a message, like a literal message that essentially the translation was, you have 15 minutes and you're going to die. And so is everybody else that you love. And yeah, it was really intense. And 45 minutes later, there was another message, and we had already found out in the gym that it was a false alarm. Supposedly, whatever, it was a mistake that got sent out, which I'm not personally sure if I don't take that story to heart. But what it really brought up for me, an underlying context, is that the fact that was my first experience in 36 years with anything of that intensity, with anything of that, like, okay, boom, like something is going down, means that I am extremely fortunate. In this world, there are so many people suffering. There are so many people who are every day living with that. There are so many mothers who every day wonder if they're going to see their children come home from school. And this is part of the reality that we live in on this planet. And this is also Martin Luther King Jr.'s actual birthday today. So the holiday typically falls on, around his birthday, but today is his actual birthday. And so there's this beautiful weaving together of these two energetics here. One is a culture, a global culture, a a world where there is a lot of war, where there is incredible injustice, where there is there's very vast disparity in what people have and what people don't have. You know, we're living in a world that is becoming more and more and more divided every day on many levels. And we're living in a world where people can and do make incredible, incredible differences every day, every single day. And today is the day that we remember someone who came and put his own life in danger and really rallied around a powerful mission to see people have a chance, to see all people have an even opportunity to thrive. And I'm bringing this in this morning, so sorry, you guys. I'm kind of like, whoo. I'm getting like, you know, it's been a lot, right? I mean, and I haven't really kind of processed everything in this way yet, at all publicly. And what it really brought, you know, what all this kind of reflection I've been doing over the past couple of days has brought in for me is that we all have this power, and we have to use it now, right? Allison wrote a post about her experience in Hawaii on Saturday. And she had, yesterday morning, that post had been shared over 1,000 times. It had been shared over 1,000 times. So we have this incredible tool at our disposal of social media that really, I think what Allison experienced in that moment was that anybody can become an influencer through social media almost instantaneously. People can, and what it was that brought her post out in that massive way was her vulnerability, was her really laying out there. Like, it was beautiful. If you haven't read her post, read it. It's like, it's a tearjerker. And like, there's this image of her little boy sitting in their shipping container with his bike helmet on, like waiting for the bomb to drop. Right? So I wanted to bring this in because the power of an individual is strong, and the power of a community working together is vastly, vastly stronger. And one of the incredible gifts that we have here, even perhaps more than the actual superfoods, perhaps more than the financial possibilities, perhaps more than, you know, than anything else, is the fact that we are united. We are brought together here. We are showing up for each other and for ourselves in a group. Like, there's 53 people on this call. Almost every single day we have over 50 people that come together. And the fact that we are all unified in a mission, unified in a vision of creating a better future for ourselves, a better world for our children, is powerful. And I have worked in a lot of communities. I have worked in a ton of different, like, you know, social justice and prison systems and urban gardening and, you know, everything, massage, like all these different elements, all these different ways of trying to make a difference. And this is the first place that I've ever been where I've actually felt like, wow, we can do it. We can do this. And part of that reason is because what we're doing is magnetic and we are growing. And this is a time, in this particular moment in time, when we have that power to magnetize more people. Because the more people that we have, the stronger that we are. And the stronger that we are, you guys, the less power over us other people can have. And this is, for me, like, this is the foundation. It's personal power. It's community power. I do not want to grow up in a world where my children have to hide under their desks for drills. Right? This is huge. And food and the corporate, military, drug, agriculture, industrial complex is behind everything that we are experiencing right now that is not in alignment. And we have something that can create major change in how people are choosing to live their lives, how they're choosing to spend their money, where those resources are getting allocated, what is falling into what pockets, right? And I do not want to be funding a war machine or a pharmaceutical machine or a hospital machine. I want to be funding solutions and love and unity and community and togetherness. And that is what we are doing together. Every single dollar that we spend in our back office is funding love. Every single person that we share with, we are increasing the power of our community to make a difference. So, with that being said, I want to invite you all to come and be together with us in the physical, in Kauai, in February. Because we live in a high-tech world where we can do this. This is amazing that we can all be here. I can see all your faces. I'm looking at all of you beautiful people. I'm so grateful to be here with all of you. And we have this incredible technology that brings us together, and being together in the flesh, being together in the physical, like really being in a room together with all of you, heart warriors, with a mission, with a vision. There's nothing more powerful than that. Nothing more powerful than that. And again, it's, we have the superfoods that support our bodies. We have the income that supports our lifestyle, that supports our families, and we have love together. Has anybody ever, I want to just kind of check in with you guys. Have any of you guys ever been part of a community before that you feel like had the heart connection and also the absolute power to make a change and make a difference in the world, like the concrete ability to create a difference in the world? Have any of you guys been a part of a community that is more potent than what you're feeling right here? Like, is this, okay, this is it. Yeah. This is it. So the question was, have any of you been a part of a community more potent or more, than what we have now? And so, yeah, not until now. Yeah, okay. So for me, I can say this is definitely it. And I want to bring in, and now that I've kind of gone this little emotional cleansing, you can feel my why, right? You guys can feel my why. This is my why. This is my why. And so when I first got started with my journey, Annie, hi, I love you. You're smiling so bright. When I first got started with my Purium journey, I was not on any level at all, considering that this could become my why. I was like, I need to make some money so that I don't have to work until I'm 80. What can I do? Okay, that thing, well, I mean, I can see that it can make me money, so I'm going to do it. I didn't have the realization or the understanding when I first got started that this could be part of what was happening for me. that I could see this kind of strength and power in what we're doing. So a few weeks after I bought my package, there was an event in Oahu. Some of you guys have heard this story before, but I think some of you haven't. And Willow, who shared Purian with me at the beginning, and by the way, you guys, I was the worst prospect ever. The worst. I was so resistant. I was so negative. I was so like, oh, Willow, like, leave me alone. Leave me alone. I don't want to do your MLM thing. Right? So if you guys ever feel any kind of vibration like that, or if you are afraid to feel a vibration like that from one of your prospects, just know that they could turn out to be your next 3-star crowd. Okay? So don't get scared by people's no's. If Willow had gotten scared by my no when I was signing up, I wouldn't be here right now. If she had gotten scared by my no when she was inviting me to the Oahu regionals, if she had stopped inviting me because I was like, girl, I am not going to Oahu. I have just a 1 few-month-old baby, 2 other kids. I'm not flying to another island, leaving my husband with my 2 other kids. I don't have money to spend on that. You're nuts. There's no way. And she was like, I'll help you. I really think you need to go. I want to go with you. And she just stayed right with me. She supported me. She saw the vision of me making it. She helped. We stayed on my auntie's floor because I had a friend, like my friend's mom was over there. We stayed on her floor, and Willow rented the car. I found the housing for us. We went to the event, and I walked in and I was like, oh my God, this is so cheesy. This is like DJ music, and everyone like, let's get it started in here. And I was like, oh, I can't believe I came to this. Right? It was a totally different vibe back then, back in the day. This is the olden days, you guys. But so I was, it took a lot for me to be there. It took a lot from Willow for me to be there. It took her holding the love for me and holding that space, even when I was just like, no way, I'm not going. And by the end of the day, I knew actually, it took until I really saw Dave Sandoval up on stage to feel him and to hear him for me to know that I was home. And if I had not have gotten to that event, I can say with pretty great certainty that I would not still be a part of Purium right now. Out of everything that's happened for me in this experience, in this journey, it was going to that event. It was feeling it in my body, feeling it in my soul, what we're doing, who we were. That was the first moment that I was like, whoa, this like is actually like real. Because before that I was like, yeah. I was so skeptical. I was like, oh, these things, like whatever, like those people who don't know anything about nutrition can do better, will be able to do a cleanse and feel better, but I don't need the products. I was like just totally skeptical, resistant. Going to the event, like it opened something up in me that created a new inner world. It really opened me up in a whole new way to something that's really indescribable. And the other thing that happened for me at that event, and then I'm going to open it up because I've been talking for a while, but the other thing sorry, I'm just checking out the comments. The other thing that happened for me is that after the event, so here's the thing, you guys, we have events, right? We have the event, the Kauai event is made up of 4 elements that are kind of like group elements, right? So on Thursday, the 8th, we're going to have a super healthy happy hour. It's actually going to be a high vibe healthy happy hour. We're going to have fire dancing. We're going to have a really, really fun experience. It's like Dave's going to be there. Last year it was amazing. We're going to have on Friday, we're going to have a vegan organic luau with more fire dancing. It's going to be a fixed price, and that's also going to be a recognition dinner. It's going to be out by the beach. There's a fire pit. It's going to be so fun. And that's also going to be a recognition dinner for everyone who rank advances in January. So everyone who rank advances in January, who's going to be in Kauai, this is a huge incentive for you guys to really stretch and run and rank this month. Anyone above who ranks director and above is going to get a special surprise at that dinner and be recognized, and it's going to be really, really, really fun and beautiful. On Saturday, we have the full day of training with a lot of different crowns and a few diamond leaders, and that's going to be amazing. And then on Sunday, we have a special element that I've actually never seen this guy in person, but Todd Falcone he was one of the trainers of my mentor, Tracy Fujikani, and he's coming out and doing a 3-hour leadership or 3 to 4 hour leadership training on Sunday. So the event is actually more like a 4-day retreat. Okay. It's not just like, oh, like I'm going to go to this regional event and like get 3 hours of training. What you're going to be doing is immersing yourself completely. It's like an immersion experience. It's a whole experience that's like aligning you to the deeper frequency of what we're doing. And not just that, but it's also going to bring you together physically with your direct team members. So it's not just about getting to the event, but it's about bringing people with you, because the biggest breakthroughs and decisions and falling in love experiences happen in person. They happen at these events. They happen in, yeah, Christina, come get recognized at the luau, sister girl. Let's do it. But they happen in this context of we're breathing the same air. This is the Hawaiians called it ha. And when they greeted each other, they would actually like go nose to nose like this, forehead to forehead, nose to nose, and breathe in. Because you're exchanging that mana, you're exchanging that life force energy. And we can't really do that through the screen. We can do that to a degree, but there's something completely different from experiencing that in person. It's just totally, completely different. Does anybody, can anybody resonate with that? Like that when you actually meet somebody in person, it's really different from just type a Y if you're feeling that. So what happened for me at the end of this the Oahu Regional in 2016, January 2016, was that I went to Tracy's house with a few other of our team. I think we had like 5 or 6 people from Kauai at that whole event, right? It was like we all had our little babies, or all the mamas from Kauai. And at that night owl, as Tracy called it, wasn't really a night owl, it was more like an afternoon owl. After the event, is that I was asking Tracy, I was like, okay, Tracy, what's the one tip? What is it that I need to know? I was like, I want your best material here, lady. I'm like, I have to leave for the airport in 1 hour. Like, hit me with everything you've got, because that was just me. And so she gave me this amazing, amazing technique or tool, which I actually just used it yesterday to talk to somebody who was previously not interested at all and is now in Shift to Wealth and going to get back to me when she looks at all the business videos. But this technique of reaching out to people on Facebook Messenger who have the green light going. And for all of you who are in the Diamond Group and just made your 600 person list, I highly recommend that you actually try to open up the conversation with them on Facebook if you're already Facebook friends, because it connects you with them in your algorithm. And people tend to open up their Facebook messages more than any other messages, so funny enough. So that is a great way to connect with people who you already know as well. But what she told me was, go home, open up your computer, go onto the little list of your friends who are currently on Facebook, and it has a green light next to each one of their names if they're on Facebook. And go ahead and just say, hi, what's up? Open up a conversation. Do not send a long message that's like, hi, I have this amazing opportunity for you, blah, blah, blah. Just go on there and say, hey, what's up? So I got home the next day. Well, actually, I got home that night. And the next day, I remember it so clearly. I was sitting on my bed. My computer was next to me. And I was like, maybe I should try that thing that Tracy told me to do. She seemed pretty convinced about it. And she was like, I have 30 messages open. And when somebody responds to me, then I start talking to them. Right. So I went home, I opened up my computer, and I was looking on the green lights, and there was a friend of mine who I hadn't talked to in like 8 years, Tevia Jones, was on the green light. And some of you guys maybe don't even know who Tevia is, but he's a black diamond in the company. He's directs me. He's an amazing, amazing leader in our team. And I just sent him a message. I was like, hey, what's up, Tev? It's been a million years. And he was like, hey, yeah, what's up? How you doing? And I told him, well, I'm doing great. I'm actually just about to do a cleanse. And he wrote me back, oh, really? I want to do a cleanse. And I moved him through the tools right there. I was like, oh, really? Check out this video. And then I put him into core 3 and tag. He's like, and by the end of our conversation, he said, I've been praying for a vegan protein supplement that works because I'm working out all the time, and the vegan ones, the organic ones, don't make me bulk up, and the ones that are not organic and that I know are full of complete junk for me do. And so I've been using them, and I need to stop. And he bought a big package, and then he immediately signed up his roommate the next day with another big package. It was the old system, so it was slightly different from how we have it now, but he was just on board like that. It was like a 20-minute exchange on Facebook Messenger with someone who I literally hadn't communicated with in 7 or 8 years. And he became my first he was my first diamond. My first diamond. And that all came out of putting myself, so this is what I want you guys to really like zoom in on. This is like the underlying lesson here, right? All of that, meeting Tracy, falling in love with Purium, having this experience with Dave, there was a whole lot of other stuff that came through. All of that came from me making a decision, and the way that I made my decision was like this. I reverse engineered my decision. So my reverse engineering went like this. In 10 years from now, am I going to look back on this weekend and think to myself, I wish I hadn't have put that ticket on the credit card. I wish I hadn't have left Diego with the kids that weekend because it completely ruined my life. And after that, nothing was ever the same. And my whole reality collapsed. And it was the worst decision that I ever made to go to Oahu that weekend. And if I hadn't have done that, everything would be better, right? So I thought, I pictured myself 10 years in the future, and I was kind of like feeling into that scenario. Is that likely to happen? In 10 years that I would remember to that degree and regret making a decision like that? Or in 10 years down the road, is there a possibility that I could look back and say, I am so grateful that I stretched my comfort zone, that I leaned into this place that was uncomfortable, that I made a decision to say yes when everything in me was like, no, 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 no. There's so many reasons why I couldn't do it. That 10 years from now, is there a possibility that I could look back and say, being there that weekend changed everything. Being there that weekend, making that decision, showing up, saying yes when I wanted to say no, getting there and showing up completely. Is there a possibility that by being there, I could completely alter the course of my life? And I can tell you guys that when I made that decision to go, I had no idea. Even though I reverse engineered and I made that decision from that place, and I was like, okay, well, there's a bigger chance that it could change my life for the better than it could change my life for the worse. right? There's a bigger chance. But I wasn't necessarily thinking to myself, I'm going to go to this event and it's going to and I will change my life. I said, there's a chance that I will, but I can tell you guys that being there, that is the single biggest decision that I have made probably in my life, was to make sure that I made it to that event. And none of you guys, well, I mean, you might, what we have here, whether or not some of you would have found your way to Peoria, but what we have here would not exist if I hadn't have made that choice and made that decision. So I want you guys to kind of just picture yourselves, ask yourself this question. This is the question. This is the $1 million question. If I knew, ask yourself this, if I knew that by getting to Kauai or Denver, I think Denver's coming up sooner, so some of you may be closer to Denver, but I think personally that Kauai is the place to be. If by getting to Kauai, I knew that I would be making 6 figures a year within 1 to 2 years with Purium, if I knew that that was going to happen for sure, would I get there? Would I get myself to Kauai? Go ahead and type a Y or N. Like, if you knew that you were going to get into 6 figures just by getting to that event, would you get there? Or would you be like, no, I don't really want that to happen for myself? Okay, so I'm seeing some yeses. So now, everybody who said yes, do you have your ticket? Alex has it, Lolly. Okay. Okay, some people do, some people don't. So now I want you guys to ask yourself this question. Well, I want you to ask yourself, why not? And so if you said yes, that if you knew that that was going to happen for you, you would definitely make it happen. You would figure out a way, you do it, right? You wouldn't be like, oh, I don't have a dog sitter, right? You'd be like, I'm going to make sure it happens, right? So just ask yourself, why not? And know that 99% of the time, it's not about time or money. It's about what? Anybody know? It's not about time or money.
Priority.
It's about your priorities. So if you are prioritizing this business enough to be on this call, Lihue Airport, Tall. If you're, and also I want to let you guys know that there's a lot of camping options on the island, which is $3 a night. So if you can get yourself there, you're good. But we can tell ourselves all the time. We do tell ourselves all the time, oh, I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do that. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money, blah, 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 blah. And if we are really honest with ourselves, because you guys already just all told me, yeah, if I knew I was going to be making 100 grams, I'd make sure, right? So the question that I remember Tracy asking me way back in the past was, if your child was in Europe on a field trip, this was her vision. I don't know. She's like, if your child was in Europe on a field trip and you got a phone call that said, there's been an emergency and you need to come here and get your child right now, would you be like, oh, I don't have enough money? You would find that money. You would make sure, right? So this is, and it's not to say that everyone has to prioritize Kauai. Some of you are not going to prioritize it. As long as you're making a clear decision that's based on what you desire, what you want, what you are committed to, rather than what you think you can afford, then you're good. If you're like, I'm not going to go there because it's my grandmother's 100th birthday and my grandmother's 100th birthday is more important to me than building my business, you know. But if you're like, if you want to be there and you feel like there's a conflict or there's a way that you can't afford it or you don't have time, reach out, reach up, get in touch with the people who are supporting you in this process and let us help you find a way to be there. Because last year I created this Kauai event knowing that I was about to leave for Uruguay for 2 months and I wasn't going to have any reception. And I said, what is the one thing that I can do for my team so that things will continue to grow while I'm gone? And the Kauai event last year was what I designed. And the Kauai event is what propelled me to 2-star crown last March when I literally didn't have a cell phone, internet, or anything for two months. So the energy that was created in that room, the leadership, the personal empowerment of people making the decision to be there, and then the leadership that grew out of everyone being with their teams, all the diamonds, like being with their teams, and then the next diamonds that arose from that was so powerful that it created literally like an explosion of momentum and growth in this community. So reach out to us if you have questions or would like support with getting there, because we want to make sure that you guys are all there. And also, just an aside note, there is a film crew that's staying on Kauai for like 4 months, and they've rented almost all of the hotel rooms on the whole island. So if you're thinking about coming to Kauai, I really want to encourage you to jump on it, and let's get you set up with accommodations. And again, like I said, the dates are the 8th through, well, Thursday the 8th is the Healthy Happy Hour, and the 11th is the last day. So a lot of people are flying out like 11th kind of mid-afternoon. So you could fly out on the 11th or the 12th. And yeah, like if you guys don't already have, if you're already coming out here and you don't have a room or a house or anything like that, start looking on Airbnb, start that process, because it's kind of like trippy how fast rooms are going. I know Skylar's going to try to get some camping stuff set up too, because the camping's awesome out here. We'll take care of everybody, but it's definitely it's not a sense of urgency. There is an actual urgency so that we can find you guys all a place to stay. So with that being said, I just wanted to thank you all for hearing me. I was not really planning to go into like a whole emotional space in the beginning of the call, and I feel like that's really, where our nectar lies. That's where our power is in our vulnerability and our willingness to share that. So thank you all for witnessing me in that space, and I'm really excited to see so many of you in Kauai. I think there's like 20 tickets left. So I love you all, and I'd love to open it up to shares, questions, comments, anything that anyone would like to reflect on in this moment. The floor is yours, and I love you all. Anybody got any shares about the Kauai event last year? Anyone that was there?
I want to jump in here for a minute, Sarah.
Hey, Erica.
And well, to answer your question, yeah, I attended the Kauai event last year, and that was just phenomenal. It brought it all to life for me. I had just been involved for maybe 2 months, and I was enjoying the products, and I was excited about the community I was getting to know on Masterminds, and I was like, yeah, this is really awesome, enough to want me to inspire me to get there. That was the first time I had left the Big Island in 14 years. And it was the first time I had ever taken a trip away from my children. I was nursing at the time. I was planning on weaning during the trip. And my whole experience there it cultivated something that was so powerful that it just like launched the whole year for me, and my unwavering commitment and my unyielding faith to being a part of this mission and this group of people who have just such positive energy. So yeah, I mean, it was awesome during the event, and hearing all of the leaders and the training was incredible. But the experience, like you say, of just sharing the mana, getting the energy of everyone there was so worth it. I can't even put it into words. No, don't do that. So the other thing I just wanted to say, recapping on what we experienced Saturday morning here with this life or death situation, is that I had a bit of my own experience where I got the message, just started to think immediately, like, where am I going? What am I doing? And then in about just a couple minutes of work in that fog, I realized I didn't have my daughter with me. And that was the thing that panicked me the most. So in just a few moments, I rushed. I had like 7 kids in my house. I had friends right now. And I was thinking the high heavens that I had these superfoods in 2 bins that I literally could grab in a second. I was like, put those in the car right now. And I was prepared. Wherever we're going to go, I don't know. But I was on my way to regroup my family together, and I knew that I had weeks worth of food. And I was like, it was a next level of how appreciative I am for what we have. I mean, it was literally like life-saving. And I'm so thankful that we're in a different position now, but I just can't even tell you. And I went out and, talked to hundreds of people in my community over the weekend and got everyone's response to the matter. And I just really created that awareness of like having a preparedness kit. Even having like my big fallout was like, I didn't have a first aid kit packed. I was running all over trying to grab first aid items that were here, there, and everywhere. And so I was proud that I at least had the food and the water covered. And yeah, I can't even say enough about how impactful this is, what we have, and to share it and to be proud of it and to own it. And yeah, truly thankful. I'm so excited to be with everyone here in Kauai. This is like the best ever experience. And thank you so much for leading, Sarah. You're amazing.
Thank you so much, Erica. And I also wanted to remind everybody that it's a tax write-off. It's tax deductible. You can come to Kauai in February and get a tax break because you all own your own businesses, which is awesome. And I wanted to make a quick announcement. I got the response from David Litt that I was looking for, which is that new rank advancers, directors and above, will actually get a free dinner at the luau. So we'll be recognizing you and giving you a really nice vegan luau catering experience. So that's exciting. And I see that we have a really special guest here on the line who I know there's a couple hands up, but I want to just give Robin Tala, who is another one of our amazing Blue Diamond leaders on the team. And he is he came to Kauai last year and was shining. He's an incredibly bright, shining star. And I know that he's bringing a big team this year as well. So Robin, you want to jump on and share anything with us?
Yeah, for sure. What's up? Thank you for the invitation to be here, Sarah. It's nice to see all of you on this rockin' mastermind, 48 people. Awesome. This team is just so on fire, and we see you. I am a part of Bliss Ohana as well. However, the section of the team I'm on has split off and is doing our own mastermind, but it's really nice to be here with everybody, see some familiar faces and some new faces. And excuse me, I will just say that events are how I built my entire business. Events are the bedrock of what we do. I mean, I'm a yellow, so for sure, for those of you who know color code, like I'm all about having fun and spontaneity and the energy, the palpable energy that happens when we get together. But whatever color you are, just being in a space with all of these people that you've seen on the video on Zoom and in the groups, to actually be able to be together, to meet each other, to hug each other, to be in entrainment with each other's energy. I don't know how, this whole business is built on duplication. So a couple of these things that I say I got directly from Sarah, so you might hear her repeat. I don't know if she said these things, but some key things that I use all the time in my Connect calls are, one, that being at an event is like if you were taking learning a foreign language, taking a Spanish class online, or going to Guatemala to do an immersion. It's the difference there. Going to a live event, you could get months, if not years, of training in a span of a couple days. It's so powerful and valuable. So I really take advantage of every single event that I possibly can to get my team there, because people make big decisions at big events. The other thing is this concept of entrainment, that, if you were to get a bunch of clocks in a room together, they all start ticking together, analog clocks, if anybody still knows what that is. Or if you hit a tuning fork and put it next to a tuning fork that's not ringing, it starts ringing, And this is what happens when we go to live events together. We entrain to each other's vibes. So if you're brand new, get yourself there to be in the aura of people who are successful, who are rocking this. It will bring your vibration into entrainment, into alignment with that. And then you're going to be able to spread that out into the world. And if you can get team members there, even more valuable, because when you have team members making those big events, it's going to launch your business even more strongly. Another part of it is just the story. Having a story that I had to stretch financially, and I didn't think I was going to be able to make it happen, but I went to this event and I'm glad that I did because of X, Y, Z. You're going to carry that story forever. That story will potentially be even more valuable to you than the actual skills that you're going to learn at the event. So that goes with everything with network marketing. It's just building your story. Your story is, so the more things you can do to be creating a powerful story that you can share with people, the better. So yeah, I was in Kauai last year. It was actually my first time speaking on a stage at a Purium event. And since then, I've spoken probably 7 or 8 times, and some of you have seen videos of me speaking. It's been really awesome to do that. But Sarah offered me the first time that I ever got to actually speak on stage. I've done public speaking in other areas of my life, but to be able to actually speak on stage at a Purium event. So I remember being out in the hallway right before I went on, writing down notes and being a little bit nervous and putting it together, and then getting up on stage and rocking it. It was really fun. I had 3 people from my team at Kauai last year, and all 3 of those people totally went on to rock it, and they're one of the legs of my team. That those 3 people are in one of the legs of my team that's most active now. This year I have 11 people coming from my team and counting. And I see there are only 11 tickets left, and I'm about to go buy another one of them. I already bought 2 extra for people I know I'm going to get who are going to come. So yeah, I think that this event is going to be awesome. I'm really excited for Todd Falcone. I got to meet him at GoPro, and he's amazing. He's going to be presenting on the last day, and he's an amazing trainer, 27-year veteran of the network marketing industry. So yeah, I am really stoked to meet all you guys who I'm going to see there, and to hang out with all the familiar faces and Bliss Ohana fam. And I'm going to be in the islands actually for 3 weeks. 1 week Big Eye, 1 week Maui, and 1 week Kauai. And then I go to Costa Rica to DJ at Envision for a week after that. So it's going to be this catalyzed a whole fun trip. So pretty stoked.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Robin, for sharing. And I just want to let everybody know on the backstory here, as I texted Robin maybe 3 weeks ago, and I was like, Robin, you're coming to Kauai, right? And he said, nah, I'm not going to go. I have all these things. I'm going to be in Costa Rica and Colombia and I don't know where, whatever he said, but he had all these reasons. He's like, I don't have enough money and my team's not going to come, and it's just too short of a notice, and nobody's going to make it, and nobody has the budget, and blah, 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 blah. And now he's like, I'm bringing 11 people, and I'm going to buy a couple more tickets because I know that I got at least 3 or 4 more coming, and it's already still just 1 whole month out, right? And so when Robin told me that, I was like, okay. And then I know that Skull Teddy called him, so we kind of we gave this little extra love to Robin in his process, and being like, dude, you got to be there. It doesn't take much for a yellow to like inspire them. But, you know, I mean, if I had just been like, okay, shoots, well, maybe next year, right? But I didn't. I was like, okay, like, you know, we all kind of like called him and get, you know, kind of like gave the little, I don't know, we surrounded him with reasons of love to be there. And now he's coming and he's got, you know, he's super stoked. And Robin was really one of the people last year who I witnessed like step into this next level of like ownership of his own team and really holding that space and holding people together and creating that. And then shortly after he went Blue Diamond. So it's a really, really powerful stuff we're talking about here, you guys. And Ashley, I see your hands up, and then I think we had someone else that popped off wanting to share earlier as well. So thanks so much, Robin, for being here. I hope that you'll come and join us more often. I know that you have a few people on your team that join us, and we love you. It's great to have your frequency on the call here, brother.
It's so nice to be here with you as well. Thank you, Sarah.
Yay!
Yeah. So awesome. Thanks for sharing, Robin. And I just saw in the chat real quick, and the way that you talk about you love a red into coming is tell them all the great information. They're going to get info they have to hear. I was just responding to Christina's little question there in the comments, but I just wanted to pop on and just share real quick because I'm so excited and just feeling really fired and pumped up right now. And I won't actually go into my story about this current event. I want to tell a past story. But I will say it was actually a very similar thing. I think it was maybe 2 weeks ago that Sarah texted me and said, Ashley, you're coming to Kauai. And I was just flat up like, nope, like, no, I was a brick wall. I was like, nope, no way. Like, I'm not. And I had a million reasons why, like a million excuses really. So I didn't even share any of them with his face, like, nope. And, you know, then instantly I felt like my energy go down and I was like, okay, but I'm open to that. You know, I'm open to it working out. And, long story short, it's all worked out. And now, you know, I have 6 people on my team, 6 or 7 people and their families coming. And it's like, so exciting. And yeah, there was people on my team who were going even before I did. And that was really inspiring. I was like, I've got to go there. So I just wanted to speak to what I've been seeing as I've been talking to people about this event and about going to this event is a lot of times there's this, there's all these obstacles, right? Like obstacles and blocks will come up. And I think a big one for a lot of people is like the time and money factor. And I know Sarah said, you know, it's not a matter of time or money. It's a matter of priority. And while I totally believe that's true, I just wanted to share a little bit of my story real quick to speak to when it really feels like it is a matter of money. Like I don't have any money. I'm a young family. I don't actually have, you know, I saw someone here say like, I don't even have gas money. There is the reality that there are people who have like $30 in the bank right now. And that was the situation that Oscar and I were in our first convention before we were even executive. We were director, you know, we were director in the company and we had no money. And not only did we not have any money, like no money to pay rent. And the event was August like 3rd, 4th, and 5th or something. We didn't have money to pay our August rent. We actually also didn't have a car. So if we did have any money, it definitely needed to go to getting us a car, right? Like, so long story short, about 2 weeks before this event, but we got on a mastermind, a super late mastermind call with Tracy Fujikani, and she was talking, and I just felt, I got that transmission. I received that really clear signal and sign in my body that like, if we aren't there, we are going to regret it. But there's no way that we're going to regret going. There's just no way. And I remember I asked Tracy a question like, what's realistic here? You know, like, is this crazy? And you think we literally had like $30 in the bank? And, you know, Tracy's response was to the extent of, you know, realistic is just kind of a matter of what you're willing to do. Are there any things you can think of? Is there anything that you could do here? And so the long story short of us getting to convention is that we asked for help. We were just very clear in our vision. It wasn't like we asked for help like, hey, could we get help because we want to go to this event, because we think like we might want to check it out. We were razor sharp clear that we had found our path, that we had found our mission, that this company was going to get us to our dreams, get us to our goals of self-sustainability. And so when we were so clear in that, it really allowed for powerful things to happen where Sarah was like, okay, guess what? Ashley, like you used to do hair and makeup. I'm going to get you appointments before the gala so that you can have money for food while you guys are here. I was like doing people's hair and makeup to pay for our like shuttle to the airport. In order to get our plane tickets, the only way we could do it is if we asked to borrow money. We were already thousands and thousands of dollars in debt with my parents. And to reach out and ask my mom, to tell my mom, hey mom, I know we have 2 small children and we don't have a car and we're hardly making any money in this business. And we can't even really afford groceries, but we feel we're supposed to take our whole family to Florida. And I had so much conviction around that my mom just responded like, okay, honey, we totally support you. I transferred the money into your account. And it was like, what? And then all these people were rising up to support us while we were there. And we just made it work. We showed up with our 2 daughters. We shared a hotel room with a couple people on our team and another baby. And the long story short is that 2 weeks before the event, if you would have told us we were going to get there, it would have been so easy for me to look at you and just like laugh and say, that's not even possible. I don't even have gas money. But because I had that conviction and I had that conviction, I had that clear belief in my heart that we were supposed to go and supposed to be there. And I made the decision, Oscar and I together, we looked at each other and we're like, we're going, we're there. All the doors started opening up. So I just want to say, if you feel inspired in any way to go and you feel like you're supposed to be there, but you don't yet have the means or you haven't yet made that a priority, I would just encourage you to like draw that line in the sand and say, I'm going. And then who can you ask for help, for support? Who wants to give you a business loan so you can go and do this or make this happen? So that's just some of our story. And all that being said, fast forward a year later, Oscar and I were showing up at the next year's convention as Green Diamonds, staying in our super fancy own room, like at the top of the hotel with this amazing view and like treating ourselves to all these fancy things and food. Like, I'm sure that wouldn't have been the case if we wouldn't have showed up at that first convention and pushed through to be there. It was just a radical experience. So I know that we're getting to our time here and I don't want to take up too much more time, but so much I could say about events. Get yourselves there. And I'm so excited to see you guys that are going to be at this event. And just, love you guys so much. Thanks, Sarah, for this powerful call.
Thanks, lady. That was, woo. Yeah, that story, Ashley's story was so incredible. And you guys, I actually have to end the call because I'm getting on a call with Dave Sandoval, David Skoltedi, Tracy, and Skylar to finalize all of the details around the event and all the kind. Tassia, I feel like Ashley was speaking right to you, and I'm glad, Ashley, that you brought that in, because it's not to say that, you're lying, like you have money in the bank that you're not talking about, but it's just really, like Ashley said, like, well, what am I willing to do to get that which I say I desire, right? And so when people go into business and start their own business, typically the loan is like $30,000, $50,000, like the amount of money of investment that it takes to start a business is huge. And the amount of overhead then most businesses have to pay rent, and they have to pay insurance, and they have to pay their employees, and they have to pay blah, 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 blah. Even as a massage therapist, I had to have my table and I had to wash my sheets, and like, it all adds up, right? But we are so lucky. We don't have any overhead besides the phone bill that you're already paying and your products that you're eating. And so being able to really prioritize and put aside some money, knowing that I don't have to pay rent for this. I don't have to pay, marketing for this. I don't have to pay the web designer. I don't have to pay all these different things. The only expense that we really ever have is our products and getting ourselves to the events. And so looking at it as kind of like, well, I haven't gone to any events for the past 4 months. So the amount that it's going to take me to get to Kauai, if I divide that up into 4 months or 5 months or whatever, how much is that as a monthly overhead? And, kind of looking at that's another perspective to have, like that we're all business owners. Almost every single business has got expenses in order to keep it running. And we're incredibly blessed that the expenses that we have, the overhead that we have is very, very, very minimal. Very, very, very minimal. And, treating this as, well, if I was going to, rent a store, I'd have to pay that rent every month. If I'm really committed to building a business, then I'm going to, set aside some money and maybe even borrow money or whatever in order to make sure that I'm setting myself up in the best way possible to make money with my business, right? I mean, I invested over $30,000 to become a massage therapist, and I probably just paid off that money, barely, before I started with Purium. So, it's all, if you're really serious and you want to treat your business like a business and create a business income stream rather than a hobby income stream, then sometimes it takes that foresight of being able to allocate resources to make it happen. So thank you, everybody, for being here. This was an awesome call. I love you all so, 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 so much. And I just really appreciate having a couple more days to be alive on this planet. Feels good. And thank you to all of our elders and our teachers and our unseen support in this realm. And thank you to all of you. And I'll see you in Kauai. Aloha!